Google crawls 1,000 pages a day, and Googlebot crawling many dupe pages might slow down the indexing of a large site. In that scenario, do you recommend blocking dupes using robots.txt, or is using meta robots, no index, no follow a better alternative? Whew, that's an interesting question. I believe if you were to talk to our crawl and indexing team, they would normally say, look, let us crawl all the content. We'll figure out what parts of a site are dupe, so which subtrees are dupes, and we'll combine that together. Whereas if you block something with robots.txt, we can't ever crawl it, so we can't ever see that it's a dupe. And then you can have the full page coming up, and then sometimes you'll see these uncrawled URLs where we saw the URL, but we weren't able to crawl it so that we could see that it was a dupe. So I think the crawling and indexing guys would say probably just go ahead and block these dupes using robots.txt. Now if you've got an incredibly weird site where you've got 16 copies of different things, I could imagine blocking some of that with robots.txt just so that we don't crawl it multiple times in lots of different ways. But before I do that, I would really try to let Google crawl the pages and see if we can figure out the dupes on our own. I would also look at whether you can re-architect your site, and worst case, I'd look at whether you could maybe use URL parameters in a way where you can tell Google with our new tool in the Webmaster Console, hey, this parameter doesn't matter, this parameter is a session ID, this parameter doesn't matter. Because there's often a lot of ways where you could set that up, where you could collapse that down so that you could help Google have the information that it would need in order to combine those. So I would typically not recommend blocking dupes out using robots.txt. That would be sort of the last resort. I'd explore all the other ways of doing your site architecture and letting Google figure it out on our own before I would even consider going to that final step.